Hi friends, Brad Morrow here with the 9th episode of the Empowerment Podcast. Today we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of public speaking. Have you ever felt like public speaking was like having a dragon hovering about your shoulder, a monster that's constantly making you afraid to speak? Well, today we're going to talk about how to tame that dragon through the simple acronym RPP, so that next time you speak, that dragon will just fly off.
What does RPP stand for anyway? Well, it stands for reality, practice, and prepare. Let's start by talking about reality.
Now, have you ever been to a scary movie and you hear the spooky music just like that playing in the background? And then it crescendos, it gets scarier and scarier and scarier as the hero walks down the spooky staircase into the scary basement. You know the monster's about to jump out, and then all of a sudden, well, the monster jumps out, and he's not nearly as scary as the buildup of that music. Well, that's the way it is with public speaking. We build these things up in our mind about how terrifying it's going to be to speak in public, what the consequences might be, but they're never as bad as what we build up in our minds.
I heard a great acronym for fear. Fear is simply false evidence appearing real. Fear is often that thing that we let build up in our minds that has no basis in reality, especially when it comes to public speaking.
Now, there may be times in your life when you have a reason for legitimate fear. For example, if a lion's about to attack you, well, you should be afraid. But not with public speaking. What's the worst that could happen? Somebody might disagree with what you have to say. Well, as the prophet Taylor Swift said, haters gonna hate, 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 hate. So what do? You shake it off. That's the worst that can happen. So don't let that false evidence that appears real in our mind build up into something that is worse than it really is. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you're speaking. Believe what you stand for. And that you have a right and a privilege to say that thing. And people will receive what you have to say. Most people will. And even if they don't, you still can stand firm in your convictions.
Next, let's talk about practice.
I knew someone who had a son that was shy to get up in front of people and speak. Now, his son took up this hobby of glass blowing, became a great glass blower in the glass blowing studio that he studied at. Now, one of the interesting aspects of the classes that he took was that they would have guest artists come and blow glass for an audience, and as they did, the students would describe to the audience what the guest artist was doing. Well, this gave this man's son some great practice in public speaking. He was speaking to an audience of 50 or 100 onlookers watching the glass blowing artist as they explained what was going on. Well, what happened as a result? This gave this young man some great insights about public speaking and built up his confidence, so he was no longer shy about getting up in front of people. In fact, he became a great public speaker because of all the practice he had. Well, how do you get good at anything? How do you get good at a musical instrument? How do you get good at playing a sport? Well, it's practice, right? So for yourself, and when we think about ourselves, how do we get good at public speaking? We just practice. So when you get opportunity, seize those opportunities to practice your speaking. Get up in front of people. And you will gain and grow in confidence. And you'll begin to realize the value of your words and the impact you can have on other people's lives as a result.
Now let's talk about prepare.
A key to having an awesome speech is being prepared. Know what you're going to say. Now, don't memorize what you're going to say, but know an outline of the things you want to say. And you might want to have a backlog of more information than what you're actually going to communicate. That way, during a question and answer session afterwards, you'll have plenty of information to share and anecdotes to share, stories. So prepare, practice in advance your speech, and be fully prepared, and that will help you grow in confidence, knowing that you are fully prepared to give a great speech. Hey, check out some of these great quotes about overcoming the fear of public speaking.
Don't let the fear of striking out hold you back. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Fight your fears, and you'll be in battle forever. Face your fears, and you'll be free forever. Do the thing you fear, and continue to do so. This is the quickest and surest way of all victory over fear. Fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours.
Well, let me share a little bit of my story. In high school, I was in a drama class, and one day I was delivering this soliloquy, but I was being really shy and timid, holding back in my delivery. And my drama teacher yells out, "Morrow, if you're going to bomb, bomb big!" And it hit me the truth of what he was saying. He was saying, if you're going to fail at your soliloquy, do it because you were giving it full energy and bursting forth with energy, not because you were holding back and being shy and timid. And so I remembered that to this day. Every time I give a big speech or a magic show, I will remember, hey, if I'm going to fail at this, it's not going to be because I held back. It's going to be because I jumped in with full energy. And it's really helped me out to face my fears and jump in, because the more I've jumped in with full energy, the more successful my speeches and magic shows have been. Well, there you have it. RPP. Reality, prepare, practice. Embrace reality, what's true. Prepare, practice as much as you can. And you will overcome that fear of public speaking. That dragon will now become your friend. Have a great day.